Welcome back to the Bayou City Podcast. I'm your host, Jackson Cochran. This is going to be our second installment of the helping out new players getting familiar and comfortable with playing fantasy football. At the end of our last episode, I asked you, the audience, to do one thing for me after you created your account. That was for you to get familiar with the rules of your league. I wanted to follow up with that request and go over some things and some new information. First things first, I asked you to get familiar with your league size. How many players are there? Typically, a standard fantasy football league is comprised of 10 teams. Some are going to be at 8 and some are going to be at 12 or more, but for the sake of this exercise, I want to make sure that you know that it's a 10-team league. Most fantasy football leagues that get created start with 10, and then it's the commissioner who can go and make these changes as he or she wishes. And now that we know how many players are in your league, I want you to know your roster size. Most leagues consist of a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a defensive special teams, and a kicker. And there's a flex spot. And I wanted to leave the flex spot last because a flex will consist of either a running back, wide receiver, or a tight end. And because we're just covering basic standard rules, getting you familiar with the game, I'm not going to go any further with any advanced lineups. And then you're going to have your bench, which will contain the rest of your roster. So basically, you're going to have 16 players on your team. Now that we've covered, roster size, however many people are going to be in your league, the next thing that I wanted to mention are your points. And that's something you might want to know about before you even consider who you're going to target. And standard scoring leagues, most leagues have a standard scoring style that is the same throughout every single platform. So for passing, for your quarterback, every 25 yards, a quarterback typically gets you 1 point. And then every touchdown pass, whoever, if it's a quarterback or even if it's a wide receiver or a running back that will throw a touchdown pass, that will get you 4 points. Now, every interception typically is minus 2 points. And then you have your 2-point conversions, which will be 2 points, but that's your generic passing scoring. Now, when it comes to rushing, every 10 yards that are rushed, you will get 1 point. And every touchdown rush will be 6 points. And if there's a 2-point conversion, you'll get 2 points from that. Now we're going to go over receiving. So every 10 receiving yards, you will get 1 point, and every touchdown reception will also give you 6 points. And then the same with a 2-point conversion, it's going to be 2 points. Now, kicking, when you're talking about your kicker, every point after attempt is going to be made, it's 1 point. Usually it's 0 to 39 yards is 3 points for a field goal. 40 to 49 is going to be 4. And any 50-yard field goal or even higher made is going to be typically 5 points. And then we have our defense and special teams. And this has a lot more detail into it, so we don't have to go over every little bit. But little things you want to know about. If it's a kickoff return, 6 points. Punt return, 6 points, because you're getting points from your defense and your special teams. So then you have your interception return, which is going to be 6 points. Fumble return for touchdown, 6 points. A block punt, field goal return, 6 points. A block punt or a field goal return for a touchdown, 6 points. Every single time that anyone on the defense makes a sack, 1 point. A block punt, 2 points. A block PAT, 2 points. A block field goal, 2 points. Every interception made will be 2 points. Every fumble recovered will be 2 points. Every safety is 2 points. And then this is going to be the hardest to go over because every single league has a different range of points allowed. Just go over your points allowed so you know the range of whatever the defense does. But most of the time, if a game goes over 17 points, maybe even 20 points, you're going to be at a 0 or a negative. You'll start to lose points for what the defense allows. Just giving you a heads up on that. And those are pretty much a lot of the things that you're going to see whenever it comes to your scoring. And we're going to do another episode just in a few days. Thank you for tuning into the Bayou City Podcast. I'm your host, Jackson Cochran.